I'd like to call the public hearing to order, please. We have two items on our public hearing agenda. The first one tonight is a resolution to grant a restaurant retail liquor license for Outback Steakhouse of Florida, LLC, doing business as Outback Steakhouse number 1271. Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of this resolution? Please come forward.
Councilman Reniger.
Yes, sir.
Roll call.
Oh, okay. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Councilman Striplin.
Here.
Councilman Wood.
Here.
Councilman Argo. Councilman Miller. Councilman Reniger.
Here.
Councilman Bowl.
Here.
Councilman Fank.
Thank you. Now, is there anyone that's in favor of resolution number 1 on the public hearing agenda? Come forward. Yes.
I know this is a little bit unusual. I just did want to bring forth to the council the information that the Outback did have a representative here, but they had to leave to go back to because they had an issue at work. So they did have a representative here who was in favor of it, but they did have to leave.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Is there anyone else? Is there anyone at this time who is here who would like to express feelings against this resolution? Anyone against this resolution? Hearing none, this item is on our regular agenda, and it is item number 6. Second item on our public hearing agenda is an ordinance, a request to zone property located off of County Road 4 and Corley Road. At this time, is there anyone here who would like to speak in favor of this ordinance? Yes, sir.
Council, I'm Muggs Mullins. I live in Buena Vista, 534 Old Mill Way. A couple meetings ago, I knew this was coming up, but to my knowledge, and I live out there and I travel a pretty good bit, I'm a realtor, so I'm in contact with a lot of people. I haven't got anything or any kind of notice or seen any type of public notice hearing, a sign. I found out about this about 5 minutes ago. Excuse me, this is going to be done tonight. I think the people in my neighborhood, where I live, would like to have at least a say on it, but I have not seen one thing to talk about this public hearing. There's no signage of any kind on County Road 4 to discuss this. And I would appreciate you at least giving us the opportunity to view and understand what's going to be done. I'm okay with most of it. I know what most of it is, but at least the opportunity for my fellow neighbors to be able to understand what's fixing to happen down the road from them, since we just got Medline in, and this, which is going to increase traffic tremendously. And this has an opportunity to do the same and even further increase traffic along County Road 4, which is already stifled because it's a 40-mile range, which is very hard to get down through. So I would at least have the opportunity for my fellow neighbors to be able to view this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mullins. Is there anyone else here that would like to speak in favor of this ordinance?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
On
Mr.
behalf
Gillen.
of the developer, I'm Greg Gillen with Larry Speaks and Associates. And I wanted to give you a brief overview of the property so you'd have an idea of what we're trying to do here. We're trying to develop an apartment complex, R4 zoning, an R5 zoning that would cover the western portion of the property, T3 zoning that would cover the eastern portion of the property, and our small B1 zoning out adjacent to Corley Road. And we have been through the Planning Commission and had a favorable response from the Planning Commission. And basically we're here to seek your approval and move forward. And I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Have any questions for Mr. Gillen? Anyone on the council? Thank you, Mr. Gillen. Is there anyone else present who would like to address the council in favor of this ordinance? Anyone else in favor of this ordinance? Okay. Is there anyone in opposition to this ordinance here tonight? Mrs. Miller?
Mayor Gillespie, Mayor Pro Tem Reniger, and honorable council members, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you on behalf of the City of Prattville Industrial Development Board tonight. As secretary of that board, I am here to request a tabling of item number 7 on the council's agenda tonight. Item number 7 refers to a zoning request and proposed development plan for 145 acres east of the South Industrial Park for sale by the state of Charles Rice. The proposed plan seeks rezoning of the property from agriculture to residential to include single-family residential homes, a mobile home park, and an apartment complex. On January 13th of this year, the city planner notified the chairman of the City of Prattville Industrial Development Board that the Prattville Planning Commission had received a request for rezoning of this property. Since that time, we understand that the Planning Commission has recommended that the request be approved. To no one's fault, the IDB was not aware of this recommendation. Although the IDB is not normally involved in land development decisions, the location of this development, which is adjacent to the South Industrial Park on County Road 4, is of great concern to us. Within the last days, members of the Industrial Development Board have learned that this item would be considered at tonight's meeting. Therefore, we respectfully request that the council table this item until the next council meeting 2 weeks from tonight in order to give the IDB sufficient time to study the impact that this development might have on industrial recruitment efforts at the South Industrial Park. Thank you very much.
Mrs. Miller, if you'll wait just a minute, please.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I need you to give your name and address to the city clerk for
Yes,
the
sir.
record.
Excuse me, Lisa Miller, 1909 Terra Drive, Prattville, 36066.
Does anyone on the council have any questions for Mrs. Miller? Councilman Bowles.
Yes, ma'am. So you're simply asking us to table this, to hold it for 2 weeks?
Yes,
so
sir.
the board can review what's going to happen and see the effects and the cause on the industrial park on County Road 4. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir, Councilman Bowles, that is correct.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions for Mrs. Miller? Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman.
Is there anyone else here that would like to speak in opposition to the ordinance on our public hearing agenda? Anyone else? Seeing no one else, I declare the public hearing